Hi, Martin here, and I'm going to be answering some more of your frequently asked questions all about your trip to Orlando. So today am I at a beach? Kind of. I am at the beach at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. So really cool, just opposite Magic Kingdom. Grand Floridian is just over there. And then I was just sitting down there. So let's answer some of your questions. So we get asked a lot of questions as Disney travel agents. There's no such thing as a stupid question, even if you think it is, or if you've asked it on Facebook and people go, "Oh, it's a stupid question." We don't think it's anything, in the same way that if you ask me about Formula One, I'm sure there's people that could tell you that's a stupid question, but I don't know anything about it. So if you don't know anything about something, it's not a stupid question, then, is it? Okay. So, is it possible to stay on site if we want to do both Disney and Universal? Now, we'll double check with them. What they mean by this is it possible to say, for example, stay at Disney and then go down to Universal, or vice versa, stay at Universal and then go to Disney? Now, you can do it. It's quite a fair distance away from each other, so you are going to be wasting a bit of time. The other thing to think of is that if you're staying at a Disney hotel, they're usually more expensive than the equivalent Universal hotels. So if you were staying there at Disney, you would pay more for the time, plus also you're not getting all the benefits. You're not going into the park first thing in the morning, 30 minutes before everyone else, because you're up at Universal instead. You've also got to get there, and the times you're going to be wanting to get there are peak rush hour kind of time. So that's the same time that everyone's going to work. That's the same time that the interstate gets really busy and things like that. So it is possible. You could Uber, you could Lyft, you could take like a taxi. A taxi would probably cost you about $45. Uber is much cheaper, but if you want to get a taxi, it's going to be expensive. So it is possible. If you were only looking to do, say, one day at Universal, then absolutely fine. Obviously, you can want to go to something like SeaWorld or something like that, or Discovery Cove or Busch Gardens, and yeah, there was no point in packing up and moving. But if you're looking to do 4 or 5 days at Universal, then stay at Universal or stay somewhere near it anyway. And same thing at Disney is, stay somewhere closer. Now, people think, oh, a split stay is a lot of, it's a bit of a pain. I don't want to be packing up. It's quite easy to do, actually. If you're doing, say, for example, 4 or 5 night stay at Universal, and then you're doing the rest of the time at Disney, and there's 4 of you going, what you do is you have a Universal suitcase, and then you have a Disney suitcase. Because when you're flying, you get one checked piece of luggage each. Now, it does not mean that, for example, my clothes don't have to go in my suitcase. I could take the clothes of my brother, my sister, my kid, whatever, whoever, okay? So you have one suitcase, and that is your Universal suitcase, or 2 suitcases, suitcase, whatever you need, okay? Then you have a different suitcase, and that is your suitcase that you then unpack. And there's also gonna be stuff that you could be using at both of them as well. So you kind of put that into another one as well. So there are ways of doing this. But yes, I would always say Twin Centre is always the way to go. Unless you're staying at, say, like an apartment kind of style hotel where you're going to be spending the entire time there, or a villa. Do I actually need a car if I stay at a Disney resort? No. I mean, no, you don't need a car. It's as simple as that. Even if you want to go, I want to go to Target, I want to go to Walmart. I want to see this fascination with Walmart. I want to go to Walmart and Target and all this kind of stuff. Just Uber, Lyft. Want to go to the outlets? Uber, Lyft. The only one is if you want to go further afield, so you want to go to the Space Center. We have a great way of doing the Space Center with a hiring a car, but just for like a couple of days. When you kind of get in touch to book, we can kind of go through that kind of stuff. But no, you don't need a car while staying on site at Disney. Yes, it's free to park and it's free to drive up to the parks and things like that. But I mean, it's free transportation around the resort. Why are you driving and paying for fuel and renting a car when Disney are going to transport you for free anyway? It seems a bit silly to me. What is the actual impact of the 5-hour time difference on a 14-day holiday? Well, realistically, by day 14, you're completely in Orlando time. For me, it takes about two nights. After my sort of like second, third night, I'm kind of into Orlando time. It does depend on what your sleep patterns are at home and things like that anyway. And you will be getting up, because of the 5-hour difference, you will be getting up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, Orlando time. It just means that you're going to be the first people in the park on the first couple of days. It doesn't take that long to adjust to it. It's more, to be honest, getting used to the weather, because we're just not used to how sunny and humid it is here. So the time difference, and it's not like on the actual day you travel, it's not like you're doing a huge amount. You're sat down on a plane for 9 hours, so you shouldn't be that tired. Is a villa in Kissimmee too far from the parks? It's not sorry it's too far, it's just that you're eating into time, because that interstate can get really busy at certain times of the day. Now sometimes it's absolutely fine, but other times, the good thing is that Americans are kind of used to the driving and things like that, and they're used to, obviously it's their roads, but they're used to the way these interstate works and things like that. And even though there might be a lot of cars on there, it does actually move reasonably kind of quickly in comparison to maybe like a motorway in the UK. So you might, I was on the interstate the other day, and I said to the driver, we're going to be here for ages, aren't we? We're only going like 2 exits. But it just kind of went along. It was a lot of traffic, but they kind of know what they're doing. If you've been, the thing with Kissimmee, Davenport, those kind of places is the villas are cheaper. So if you're weighing it up, you're basically sacrificing time and driving further to save money on a villa. Now it depends how much you kind of value your time and how much the difference is. If it's, £2,000 cheaper, then I'll just buy lightning lanes for a day or something like that. That will make up the time. If it's 100, 200 odd pounds kind of cheaper to stay in Davenport than it is to stay at one of the other kind of resorts a bit kind of closer, then personally I would pay the extra. Okay. What's the difference between staying in Orlando versus staying on the coast? Well, so the coast is quite far away. You're looking at minimum 45 minutes, realistically an hour to get out to the coast. So it would be the same as if you were visiting Manchester, staying in Leeds. That's about an hour sort of drive away, isn't it? So what a lot of people do is if they want to add in the beach and they don't just want to come to this beach, for example, or the beach of Volcano Bay, or there's a few other kind of fake beaches around as well. If they want to go to the actual beach on the coast, then twin centre it. So do your time at Disney and Universal, that kind of stuff, and then go out to the coast. We get a lot of people who have been to Disney and Universal before. They kind of just want to do like the old classic stuff and then do the new stuff. And so they're going to be here for a loss, for less amount of time. A lot of people are doing it now. They're just doing Universal because they want to go and do Epic Universe. And then they're going for 4 or 5 nights at a beach, maybe a cruise as well. So, that's something else to think about. Is it better to fly into Orlando International or go via Tampa or Miami? Well, let's start with Miami first. Miami is 3.5, sometimes 4-hour drive from Miami Airport up to Orlando. So again, would you do that at home? Probably not. After you have been up for at least 24 hours flying, tired, the other side of the road, and then you've got to then go find the car hire company, get everyone into the car, put your luggage in, then you've got to drive. If you're staying overnight in Miami, or you're going to have a few nights in Miami, for example, maybe you're going to do a cruise or something like that, then actually, probably fly into Miami. It really depends on how much cheaper it is. Tampa is really good. Tampa is only about an hour drive away, and Tampa Airport is small. So even though it's an hour away, you don't have to sort of turn up that early at the airport. You still turn up your 2 hours early, but you're going to be whisked through really, really quickly, and you're going to be out the other side and sat through into the waiting area for the plane pretty kind of quickly. So that's why we kind of recommend flying via Tampa. It is cheaper to fly via Tampa usually, but you kind of have to weigh it up to how much extra it is. Now, it's the getting to and from Tampa, that's the thing. So you could hire a car. We do have drivers that will also drive you as well. It's not the cheapest kind of thing to do. So it really does depend. Now, some people like doing Busch Gardens, for example. So fly in, do a day at Busch Gardens, and then drive or whatever to Orlando. So there are things, I mean, if you're on a budget, if you're really on a budget, you can always take the Flixbus. But you know, there are kind of ways of doing it. But yeah, Tampa, we had some people flying into Tampa. They landed like 2 days ago. Well, I'm recording this obviously. And they were absolutely fine with it, and they hired a car because they're going to go to the Space Center. Now you can kind of mix and match as well. You can fly into Tampa and then out of Orlando or out of Miami if you're going to go on a cruise. So you can kind of mix and match on that. And what's the real experience of a Disney moderate hotel versus a value one? I mean, I'm in a deluxe at the moment, so so the main kind of differences are that the hotels at a value are basic rooms. They are, you know, it's a room. They're nice, they're clean, they're efficient. They, you know, if you just want to just get in, sleep, get to the parks and things like that, fine. That's fine, that's okay. The rooms at the moderate hotels tend to be a bit nicer, a bit bigger as well. The main kind of things for me is the theming. So the theming at a moderate hotel is a lot better themed, basically, isn't it? You know, whereas like All Stars and things at the kind of motels with stuff stuck in onto the outside and stuff to make it look like it's part of a kind of theme. So the other thing is the swimming pools. The swimming pools at a moderate hotel are a lot better. So like the feature pool that you're going to get. So for example, the dig slope pool at Coronado Springs, brilliant place. I really love Coronado Springs. The swimming pool there is really cool, and I reckon it's a great place to go, especially if you've been a couple of times before and you want to be able to go back in the afternoon and chill out and relax. So if you're here for the first time, you're probably going to be rushing it and just trying to do as much as possible. But yeah, so hopefully I've answered most of your questions. If you want to find out a bit more about what we do at Orlando Insider, then please get in touch using the links in the show notes or visit orlandoinsider.co.uk, and one of us will be in touch to be able to help you plan your awesome Orlando adventure. If you have any questions that I haven't answered in here, please ask them in the comments down below and we'll try and add them to a future video. But for now, here's a quick video that's going to tell you all about the best times to visit Orlando for your next trip. Thanks, bye.